Hi everyone, it's Kate from the Forward Line. I'm back this week with a new video for you all. This week, excitingly, we are doing, and I will say, this is extremely overdue. I'm doing pattern picks based on the film Little Women, which was released in 2019, and when it was released I got so many emails about doing pattern picks and hunting stuff out, and I just hadn't got around to it. But today I have gone in, I found them all. If you haven't watched it, it's the newest version and it's absolutely, I love it. Always watch it, and actually I don't know about you, but around Christmas time I watch it. It feels quite festive. It's such a lovely story, so if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Anyway, so I have found some patterns. I hunted them out. So what I decided to do, because anyone who's seen this, you'll know there's quite a lot of traditional dress, kind of full on, you know, quite probably less realistic to wear in day-to-day life. So I picked the more ready-to-wear pieces, which I feel that you could like incorporate into your handmade wardrobe already. So I hope that is useful. So I'm going to get started. I've got a few to go through with you, and I will show you them side by side so you can see. I've got my laptop here so I can actually keep up with what I'm trying to talk about, and I'm going to get started. So first pattern that we've got is this really beautiful dress, what kind of outfit from Amy. I've actually found it's the blouse that I've been looking at. The thing about Little Women, I don't know about you, but blouses, just like really beautiful blouses, lots of natural materials. Obviously there wouldn't have been any synthetic, so linens and cottons and silks, and yeah, the costume designer did such an incredible job. Anyway, I digress. So this beautiful outfit, I found the perfect shirt for this actually, because I looked everywhere and I was like, oh, where am I going to find it? I did come across it. So this is the Gibson Girl shirt from Folkwear. It comes in sizes UK 8 to 30. I thought this was almost bang on. I think if you look at it you'll agree, especially because the picture, the fabrication is very similar. It's got these inserted little lace panels, which is the same as on Amy's kind of blouse. It's high necked, it's slightly higher necked than Amy's version, but I think you could obviously make that a bit narrower and the sleeves longer, but that definitely has the same sort of feel. The sleeves are really similar shape as well, so I thought that would be a really good option. And that, again, you can see in the Folkwear version she's wearing it with jeans, so it does adapt, you know, it looks modern as well as very kind of historical. I thought this was a really good combo, so I hope you agree. Next up, I've got kind of I've got a picture of all of the girls, because I thought, or all of the sisters, I thought this really summed up what they wore. So there were a lot of which I find quite interesting, there were a lot of separates. Though the dresses had, although they were in matching fabrics, they had top, you know, the top and a bottom, and usually a shirt underneath or a jacket over the top. But a lot of them wore blouses with big sleeves, and a lot of them wore these sort of cropped jackets, either without a collar or a little mandarin collar. So I've got two patterns which I think would make a really nice combo. They'd look great together, and I think very on, I was going to say on trend, but very similar to Little Women outfits. So for the jacket, I've got the Yannicka jacket from Liesl & Co. This comes in sizes UK 8 to 20. I picked this jacket. It isn't perfect, but I think it has it's got the right feel. It's cropped. It does come up slightly higher at the collar, but I think you could lower that if you wanted to. And the hem is curved, which I think is a really interesting detail, but if you wanted to make it more similar, I think you could cut that straight quite easily. So I thought that was a really lovely jacket, and it feels quite similar to the stuff that they were sort of wearing. With the blouse is amazing, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it and either made it or wanted to make it. It's the Thea boho sleeve shirt from Liberty. It comes in sizes 6 to 22. Beautiful pattern. Oh, I love this. So quite a kind of classic shirt. shape, little mandarin collar. It's got this sort of dropped sleeve and then with this huge kind of puff at the bottom, which is amazing, and then it gathers into quite a deep sleeve. It's a really lovely silhouette. I think it would work perfectly. It has a sort of feel of the stuff that they wore in Little Women. I think also with the Yannicka jacket, if you wanted to wear them together, if you cropped the sleeve slightly, then you'd see the lovely cuff underneath of the Liberty pattern. I think together they're a really nice combo, so I hope you agree those two have a really nice feel. So dresses, as I was saying before, lots of actually two pieces, but I did find one dress which I thought would work really, really well. So the picture that I'm showing you is of Meg's wedding, and it's Amy who's wearing this really beautiful, yes it is Amy who's wearing this sort of beautiful pleated front dress. You can see from this it looks like it's made in a silk. So I had a good look at dresses. The one that I think to me feels the most wearable and the most in keeping with the film is the Sadavi dress from Pauline Alice. This comes in sizes 6 to 22. The reason I picked this, it's got the pleats on the bust. It's quite, it's got a gathering at the hem. It just feels quite similar. Obviously the sleeves are slightly different. You could make them longer if you wanted, and obviously Amy's skirt is a lot more full than this version, but I feel like this is sort of a realistic everyday version of it, and it definitely has the same feel to me, so I hope you agree. I think I was quite pleased with that. I think this is a good sort of option if you're looking for something with that feel. And yeah, the big pleats on the bust is just a lovely detail, so you'd also learn something while you're making it. Right, next up we've got this picture is of Jo when she's on the beach. I loved this. As soon as I saw it in the film, I really loved this sort of, I guess, kind of like a beach cover-up. And I loved it as the film went on. Her outfits became more and more casual and more of a nod to men's tailoring, which was really great. So I had a really good look, and I thought this pattern was a really good option. So I've chosen the Valley dress and top from Pattern Fantastique. This comes in sizes 6 to 26. I thought this was quite close in terms of the feel. It was finding something with a seam line across the top of the bust with gathering. That was the thing that was really difficult. It doesn't have the same button down feature, but it feels quite similar. The other thing that it has, which the Little Women dress doesn't, is these big sleeves. But I mean, just as an item on its own, how amazing is this? I think it, and also if you really wanted to create that, I think you could use this pattern as a starting point to adapt it. But it's a really lovely pattern, and I think it feels quite similar to what she wore, and actually would be perfect on the beach. So I hope that works and you feel like that's a kind of goodish, kind of, what's the word? Kind of good starting point. Right, so next up we have got, this is like a full outfit actually. So this is the outfit that Jo wore kind of to work. It's a kind of her work outfit. It felt, she wore quite a lot of this, so a sort of tailored jacket, a shirt, a little waistcoat, and then this a kind of long skirt. I didn't find a waistcoat that I felt was appropriate, but the rest of the things I think I've got the rest of the outfit nailed. So let's start with the jacket. So for the jacket, I chose the Vogue V8333. So you will see in this picture of it, it's quite similar in terms of the cut. The only thing that is different is you can see that Jo's has, I think it's probably unlined. It doesn't have shoulder pads, which the Vogue jacket, you can see it's quite structured around the shoulders. This would be easy enough for you to leave out, but I picked this one in particular because it's cinched in at the waist, it's got the 3 buttons down the front, and it's got quite a deep notched collar, which Jo's has. So I felt, and it also ends about the same length as well, so I thought this was a really good option. For the shirt, I picked the Olia shirt and dress from Paper Theory Patterns. This comes in sizes 6 to 20. I thought this was really close because this shirt, and she wore quite a few shirts like this, it almost feels like a man's shirt because it's quite oversized, and the Olia shirt dress is kind of a relaxed fit, and it has a proper collar, so I felt like this was a good option. Check out the line drawing I'll show you of the Olia shirt. It's beautiful. If you haven't made it before, have a look. It's got this really interesting detail around the chest and arm. It's really great. So it's definitely, lots of people have made as well, so it's a good pattern if you're thinking about a shirt. But I thought that was a good option. And then, sorry, I'm talking very quickly. Then for the skirt, I thought that the walking skirt from Folkwear would be a really good option, actually, for any type of kind of, if you wanted to recreate the skirt that they sort of wore. This shape is perfect. It's exactly the same silhouette as all of their dresses. Obviously they'd have worn petticoats and things underneath, but if you want a kind of a more modern nod to it, I think this is perfect. It's got button at the front, it's got pleats, and it's pleats at the back, which is kind of more typical of what they wore, because they wore quite often more bustles. And then at the front it's kind of flat cut in 3 panels. I think this is a really lovely shape. This comes in sizes UK 8 to 30, so it's got a great size range on that one. So yeah, this skirt I think is a general silhouette for the whole programme, for whole film, is a really good option. So next up, this is sort of my last, oh no it isn't, got more guys. I thought this was my last one, but it's not. So blouses, I did mention this a bit earlier on. Beautiful blouses. There are a lot of amazing blouses in the show, really lovely collars, just gorgeous. So I've got 3 patterns which I thought sort of nodded to quite a lot of the things that they wore, even their nightwear as well. So I think this is, yeah, I've got some good patterns. So first pattern I've got to talk to you about is the Gemini shirt from French Poetry. I picked this because it's got a slight ruffle on the collar. It's got gathering into the collar, which most of theirs seem to do, and it's got a button down the front. It's also got slight gathering at the cuff. I think it's a really lovely pattern, but I really think this is kind of appropriate for the little women sort of look. It comes in sizes 6 to 16, so it doesn't have a huge size range, but I really wanted to include it because I felt it was so close to the sort of stuff that they wore. Next up, I've got the matcha top from So Liberated. This comes in sizes 6 to 22. This again has got it's loose fitting, which I felt was quite like Joe's sort of wardrobe, gathering into the neckband. It's got this quite nice V. It's a really lovely pattern anyway, but I felt like this was this is another really good option. It looked really nice with a jumper underneath, and etc, etc. Last one on this sort of the blouse edit is from True Bias. It's a Roscoe blouse and dress. This comes in sizes naught UK 8 to 32, so it's got a great size range. Raglan sleeve, lots of gathering in again into the neckline, tie at the front. You can make this as a dress as well. It's a really lovely sort of smock feel, and it's perfect for layering, and I just felt this had a real feel, so I think that's another good option. Right, so next up I've got, this one is definitely not perfect, but I thought it had a definite nod to the film. So the mother, or who is called Marmee, this is a picture of her at the wedding. Beautiful little like jacket with a big kind of pussy bow tie at the collar. I spent ages trying to find a piece of outerwear that was similar to this. I couldn't, but what I have found, I think you could make it in a heavier fabric, like a you could make this in a cotton, like a canvas, and it would feel more similar. So it's the Cleo dress and blouse from Snitchin. This comes in sizes 6 to 18. Buttons down the front, which is the same as this jacket. It's got the mandarin collar, this big bow at the front, quite a statement bow. So I think you could definitely get that feeling. You could make the bow and this kind of collar in a different colour fabric to make it feel more similar. But I thought that was quite a good starting point, so I hope that's kind of ticks boxes for everyone. Right, last but not least, this is a picture of all of the sisters out walking, and one thing I really noticed in this film is they did a lot of layering. obviously to keep warm, and we didn't have kind of puffer coats back then. So and they all wore capes over their dresses because they would have loads and loads of things and scarves, and so you can see from this picture they're all sort of bundled up out in the snow. I thought that this pattern would work really well. It's the Harry cape from I Am Patterns. It comes in sizes UK 6 to 18. The main difference is most of their capes sort of tied up at the collar, so you would need to that would be the probably thing that you change. You just leave off the buttonholes and add a tie at the collar to make it more similar to theirs. But I think this had a real feel if you're looking for a cape, and some of theirs also had a slightly dropped hem at the back, so you could definitely, it's a very easy kind of bit of pattern tweaking to make it kind of drop towards the back of the cape. But I thought that was another really good option if you're looking to make something like that, some of their outerwear. I hope you enjoyed that. I feel like I whizzed through some of it. Yes, I will, if there's any other films or TV shows or anything you'd like us to do, just let me know, because we are definitely doing a few more of them now. So yeah, just leave me a comment, and I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you very soon for another video. Bye!